Welcome to ESET. My name is Matt Moss and I'm a sales engineer with ESET North America. Today we are going to showcase ESET's encryption solutions. ESET provides customers two choices when it comes to protecting data and achieving compliancy. First, we offer ESET full disk encryption, which focuses solely on full disk encryption, but is tightly integrated into and managed by our powerful endpoint security management framework, the ESET Security Management Center. As an alternative, we also offer ESET Endpoint Encryption, which is a complete solution for your file, folder, full disk, email, and removable encryption needs. First, a quick word about ESET. We are a security software vendor with 30+ years of cybersecurity expertise, trusted by more than 400,000 businesses with proven multi-layer technology and a full security portfolio for businesses of any size. ESET provides a wide portfolio of tools to reduce exposure and secure our customers' environments. In this diagram, you can see how ESET solutions map to Gartner's adaptive security architecture. In the Prevent and Detect quadrants, ESET provides proactive prevention via our advanced layered anti-malware and endpoint security solutions. We also offer our endpoint detection and response solution, ESET Enterprise Inspector, our multi-factor authentication solution, ESET Secure Authentication, and our encryption solutions, ESET Full Disk Encryption and ESET Endpoint Encryption. The Respond quadrant is where our enterprise solutions provide value. Again, we see ESET Enterprise Inspector, but we also see our cloud-based sandbox, ESET Dynamic Threat Defense. And lastly, in the Predict quadrant, ESET offers its Virus Radar website and We Live security blog, as well as ESET Threat Intelligence, which provides real-time feeds, reporting, and security information to strengthen your defenses. At the center of it all is ESET's Security Management Center, which provides powerful IT asset inventory and control for complete visibility and protection for your endpoint machines and protected environment. With ESET Security Management Center, you can deploy, update, monitor, and manage all your endpoint security needs remotely from any standard browser. ESET Security Management Center is fully Active Directory integrated, but does not require Active Directory. ESET's award-winning endpoint security solutions are fully managed from the ESET Security Management Center, and this includes ESET Full Disk Encryption. ESET Full Disk Encryption, or EFDE, is powerful protection for organizations' sensitive data. Features include complete full disk encryption, TPM chip support although it is not required, and strong 256-bit AES encryption technology that is FIPS 140-2 validated for protection for compliancy. EFDE is easy, and that allows our customers to easily protect sensitive data and comply with regulatory initiatives. What's significant with EFDE is its tight integration with the ESET Security Management Center, which makes provisioning and administration of endpoint full disk encryption quick and easy. When combined with ESET's award-winning endpoint scanner protection, ESET customers benefit from a solid data protection and security strategy that is managed via one platform. ESET Security Management Center, ESET Endpoint Protection, and ESET Full Disk Encryption is ESET's trusted malware protection, full disk encryption, and powerful IT asset control system, all under one vendor umbrella, bringing single platform, consistent UI, easy deployment, powerful policy management, client tasking, alerting, full disk encryption password recovery, and more. If a fuller, more complete suite of encryption tools is needed, then ESET Endpoint Encryption, or EEE, can be leveraged to protect your sensitive data at rest or in transit to help you achieve any compliancy and regulatory efforts. EEE offers file and folder level encryption and full disk encryption. For data in transit, EEE provides email encryption and removable media encryption with flexible removable device policy management. EEE also supports management of Opal drives and TPM support. Another unique feature is that EEE is licensed per user and affords your users single sign-on authentication for domain machines. EEE is a lightweight server with optional Active Directory integration for quick provisioning and easy management of your encrypted machines. Because of EEE's unique proxy connection, there are no network changes needed in terms of a dedicated connection, VPN, or opening of firewall ports. EEE also provides powerful and secure 256-bit AES encryption that is FIPS 140-2 Level 1 validated. Let's have a quick look at both of ESET's encryption solutions. Let's begin with an administrator's view of ESET Full Disk Encryption. Here, we can see a device that has the ESET full disk encryption client installed on it, checking into an ESET Security Management Center server. We can confirm that by mousing over this lock icon to the left of the computer name. By left-clicking on the computer name and then selecting Show Details, we can see additional details specific to this endpoint, to include the ESET products that are installed on it and the licenses being used by those products, as well as a tile that provides us additional information on the status of ESET full disk encryption. Directly from this tile, we have the ability to manage the product by invalidating an FDE login password, blocking access, or even restoring access should you have the need to do so. All of this is managed using policy within the ESET Security Management Center server, and we can take a look at that by navigating to the Policies section and finding an EFDE policy that I've already created. Let's left-click on this and click on the Edit button to see the available settings within this policy. Clicking on the Settings section and then clicking on Encryption Options shows us the various encryption options available within this policy. We also have the ability to control the password policy, settings for the user interface, and we have a Tools section here that allows you to configure a proxy server should one be in your environment. Let's move on to the user's view of ESET full disk encryption. Here, we can see the pre-boot authentication screen for ESET full disk encryption. We can continue the boot process by entering our password, or we can press the F1 key for additional options. Let's go ahead and enter our password, and then press the Enter key. Here we are at the Windows login screen. Let's continue by logging into Windows. Now that everything's loaded, we can find the icon for ESET full disk encryption in the system tray. Right-clicking on this icon and then clicking on Open ESET full disk encryption brings up the ESET full disk encryption GUI. Here, in the Protection Status section, we have a quick summary of our protection status. The Setup section provides information about the disks that are encrypted and even provides us with the ability to change the encryption password. And finally, we do in fact have a Help and Support section. Let's move on to see the administrator's view of ESET endpoint encryption. Here, we can see the administrator's view of the ESET endpoint encryption server. On the left, you can see our group structure broken out by users and workstations. At the very top level, we can see information about the encryption key groups that have been created, the encryption keys themselves that have been created, and we also have a section that you can use to import users directly from Active Directory. In our Users section, you can see that it is broken out by teams. Each of these teams provides access to encryption keys based on the encryption key group that the team has been joined to. Here you can see my admin users joined to an IT admin encryption key group, which gives them access to the following encryption keys. We also have a group policy section, and here you can configure the password policy, the key file options, and even removable media settings. In our workstation section, we can see information about the workstations that have ESET endpoint encryption installed. Here we can see a single device that when we double-click on the record brings us additional details about this device. If you are ever in a position where you need to generate an uninstall code or build an FDE recovery image, that will be found in the Tools section here. The Activated Users section shows you the users activated on this workstation, and the FDE Login section shows you the FDE logins available for use. As you can see here, this Matt.Moss user is in fact set up for single sign-on. We also have the concept of a workstation policy, wherein you can change the settings for the front end, additional removable media settings, additional key file settings, additional Outlook add-in settings, and so on and so on. Now that we've seen the administrator's view of the ESET endpoint encryption server, let's take a look at the user's perspective. Here, we can see the pre-boot authentication screen for ESET endpoint encryption. We have the option to enter our FDE login credentials to start the system. We can reset the password with one of the FDE login accounts, or we can even shut the system down. Let's go ahead and start the system by entering our FDE login credentials. Because my FDE login was configured for single sign-on, I'm brought directly to the Windows desktop after entering my FDE login credentials. Clicking on the System tray shows us a new icon here for ESET Endpoint Encryption. Right-clicking on this icon and clicking on About ESET Endpoint Encryption provides us with some additional information about the client that's installed. Going back to that icon and clicking on Key Manager shows us the encryption keys that are available for use by the logged-in user. These encryption keys are used to encrypt and decrypt files, folders, and text. We also have the ability to check on the status of full disk encryption, to create and manage virtual disks that act as encryption buckets that you can drop files into, and also to deal with text encryption and removable media encryption. Text encryption is easy to use. By opening this section here, we can then find some text by opening a file, and then clicking on the Encrypt button to encrypt the text within. Here, we get to choose whether or not we want to use an encryption key or a password for the encryption, and we also get to choose which key we'd like to use. Let's go ahead and choose this ITadmin1 key. As you can see, this text has now been encrypted. If I have access to the same keys used to encrypt the text, I can easily decrypt it by clicking on the Decrypt button. Files can also be encrypted by right-clicking on a file, moving down to the ESET Endpoint Encryption section, and then selecting Encrypt File with ESET Endpoint Encryption. And that brings us to the end of our video on ESET Full Disk Encryption and ESET Endpoint Encryption. Through the course of this video, we took you on a quick tour of ESET Full Disk Encryption and ESET Endpoint Encryption. I'm hoping that you are now armed with the knowledge you need to select the appropriate solution for you. Remember to reset with ESET and enjoy safer technology.